Hola, hola. Oh, oh my gosh. I forgot to do the biggest thing. Wow, that's a no bueno. Wow. I cannot forget. I cannot believe I forgot to clean the shrimp before we got started. Okay, here is this thing is doing its moving around again. Bonjour, bonjour. Oh my goodness. I just realized I was doing all this stuff and I forgot to clean the shrimp. So that's a no bueno. But while I clean the shrimp, I'm gonna go ahead and, well, good morning. First of all, look at that. Yes, I gotta go to the mall and get me a new tripod. I'm discombobulated. We're doing the black eyed pea salad, and I like to go in my fridge and see what I have that I can get rid of and add to the salad. This is, you know, I do that to kind of clean up my fridge, right? So I remember I have a couple of potatoes left from the party last week. So we are going to use that. Maybe. I have a red cabbage. So we're gonna do that. So let me put the potatoes in the oven first for 10 minutes. That will be the exact amount of time I need to clean the shrimp. And then all we need to do when we come back is put everything together. Because when you do a salad, most of your things are going to be crudité. Crude, that means raw. So, you know, I'm not gonna cook the peppers and any of that. But I think if I do some turmeric dusted potato, roasted potatoes, that would be yummy. So, good morning, good Sunday. Well, you know, I'm a few minutes late. I decided to go and take a shower, wash my hair. So, so I feel like $1,000,000. No coffee today. But the potatoes, the beans, the peppers, ooh, it's gonna be so good. So let's do that. I even did the beets. I put the beets in the oven, but I did not clean the shrimp. You know, some days are like that, right? And we're not perfect, so we gotta give ourselves grace. No pasa nada. Like that little commercial saying, no pasa nada, ma, no pasa nada, right? Hey, Greta. Rainy week. Well, it is cloudy here, but whew, the humidity. You know, I was thinking yesterday was a busy day. I took the bus and then walked to San Felipe. Got all the little thing that I showed. Then I had 2 Spanish classes. Then I did the live. And then I went to Weber Smith. Took a bus, did a little bit more shopping, and I did find the okra. Yeah. Ooh, I had to do the okra too. So we're gonna do 2 pots. You know, I like these little pots. They are my scallop potato pots. So. Oh yes, I think, you know, I don't eat potatoes like that, but I think I'm gonna do it. Let's see, I'm thinking of the size that I want. So we're gonna do like this size for whatever we're putting in our salad. So they're gonna cook really fast, right? Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just take the metro, go to Albrook, and take my laptop, as long as I don't have to go use their Wi-Fi, because I don't trust public Wi-Fi. But I need to finish writing the text for the website. I may not put all these potatoes in here, but I want to get rid of it because I want to go no carbs. But yesterday I went to the store and they had quinoa on sale. Guess what? I got a bag of black quinoa and I got a bag of white quinoa. You know, quinoa is something that you want to have in your, okay, I have the oven on, perfect. You want to have in your, you know, around. All right, so I don't have, ooh, Lordy, it's time to get some olive oil. So olive oil, little bit. And you know what? I need some of that to make my dressing. Ooh, that's a no bueno. And then yesterday I found this thing at Reba Smith. It's pimiento con sal. So we got salt. I cook your Swiss chard, string beans, squash in one pot. Ooh, good for you. What else did you put in it? You're a one pot person, I'm not so much. All right, so salt, pepper, and then a little bit of herbs. Some sea salt. Okay, I don't want the red, so we're not putting paprika. No, nothing red in this one. I actually want turmeric and curry. This is turmeric. When the potato roasts and then it's got that golden color, absolutely stunning, right? I want to eat boring food. But you know, years ago it was saffron that we used, right? That was so expensive. The cashier at market wanted to know where was I. I said one word, Uvia. They understood immediately that it has awful. Really? I'm grateful today for the sun. Good for you. Oh, you wish you had an oven. I understand, sis. But you know what? You do what you can, what you have, right? So it's a little cumin. And now we're going to add some herbs. Ooh, parsley. So you could call it herb roasted potatoes. Fine herbs. Oregano. And thyme. So don't be stingy with your herbs, okay? They're good for you. As long as you just, you know, don't go crazy now. Yep, that's good. That is good. So salt, pepper, so we're good. Right? You want your potatoes to be nicely seasoned. And when they cook, they're going to come out nicely golden and it's going to be a sight. Right? All right. So the potatoes go. So I did cook the beets ahead, so that's good. The beans have cooked. What else did I say I needed to put in there? The apples I'm gonna tell you about the apples. I decided to put the apples in the salad. Uh, oh, the okra. The okra. Yes. Oh, where's my other one? Oh, I think it's got the, so I walked into, oh, we're also gonna use, I did buy a zucchini. So zucchini goes well in the salad, okay? But okra, I walked into that place. And I tell you, the place was bombed. I got there probably close to 7. And I'm like, the mall was just genoed up with people full. And I'm like, what is going on? Are they giving something away? Mm-hmm. And Reba Smith, I don't think I've ever been there that time of the day. So because we're gonna do a salad, we want to make sure we have them like about this size. You know I don't like to cut them, but for this we have to. Alright? And I like to put some turmeric, but because I already have turmeric with the potatoes, too much yellow, it's not gonna work. Gotta think like an artist, everything in scale. Alright? And while these are cooking, this is a good thing. Then I can just clean the shrimp, and then the shrimp I'm gonna saute on the stove. I'm gonna season it for like 5 minutes, and then dust it with some cornstarch, and then put it on the stove. Hopefully it will have a nice little crunch, because the best way to do it is to fry, but you know I don't fry anything. So some of these are a little big, which I don't like, so I'm going to use the big one for the salad, and then leave the small one. Oh, look at this. This is a big daddy. ¿Qué pasó? Now see, if you were to put this on the stove like that, it would be hard. The skin is hard. Look at that. I can even feel it going through with the knife. Ooh. Wow. That's a no bueno. I don't like that. That's why I always kind of look through. One time I was at Merca, this guy had it, and I'm like, do you have chiquitos? He's like, no, todos grandes. I'm like, oh, I don't want it. All right, I think that should do it. And the next time I cook okra, we'll see. I've decided not to dabble in the meats anymore. They're not good for me. All right, I think that's good. So we're going to rinse and season and throw it in the oven also. Ooh. Put all that with the beans, gonna be so good. So we're gonna start our season with salads. And guess what? I did get some green. I'll show you. You know I don't like lettuce. I'm not team lettuce. You're not gonna find me buying lettuce unless I'm doing I have a party or something. Now last time you watched me put some veggie broth in the okra because I need a little bit of moisture. Not today. Today, thank you. Today is not one of those. All right. So let me use the other oil because I need my olive oil for the dressing. And this is one of those recipes where you're gonna make a nice dressing, and the dressing is gonna be a cross between a Greek dressing and an Italian dressing, right? And I always like to put some grainy mustard in my dressing, and then you shake it really hard and it gets nice and thick. And then we're gonna have to put some of that in the salad. It's not one of those salads you're just gonna pour it afterwards. You're gonna have to moisten the ingredients. Because you don't want to choke on your food. You want to be sure there's enough moisture, right? Sometimes I see some plates and I'm like, oh my God, that looks so dry. That's no bueno, okay? I don't know, I'm always thinking, because if it's a problem for me, it's going to be a problem for my guests or whoever I'm trying to feed. Again, no paprika. I don't want the yellow or the red. All right, salt, pepper. Okay, we could do some adobo. Adobo has some salt, so we got to keep that in mind. And I think it's amazing how good my blood pressure has been since I've been here. There was one instance, you know, I felt a little tightness in the back of my neck when I first got here, maybe in 2023. And then when I took my pressure, it's like 140 over 90 something. I'm like, oh no, no bueno. So I took my medicine, been fine ever since. Okay, this is time. And make sure you have a blood pressure machine or you go to the stores where you can get it checked for free. You should know what your numbers are, right? You heard me say it all the time. Do you know your numbers? Es importante. So if somebody doesn't watch because they say, oh, I don't like black eyed peas, well, you don't know until you try it. You know, I soaked it overnight. Someone asked me this morning, do you soak them? Yeah, I soaked it. But there's not some peas that I'm used to using because I'm not into the black eyed peas with, is it pig feet? Well, I don't eat that. So, and I realized it didn't take any time at all. I mean, within 15 minutes it was done. But the other thing that I noticed, this is like a parsley. The only thing that I noticed, and for this one, I'm putting a little bit of red pepper flakes, just to add a little heat for me, porque me gusta. If you don't like, if you don't like a little bit of heat, do not put it in. This is basil, that's good. But there is one thing I forgot to get for this salad. You know what it is? It's a Mediterranean salad, mint. Fresh mint. If you're making this pea salad, whether it's chickpeas or whatever, you need fresh mint. I forgot to get it. It wasn't on my list. I was going by my list for a change. But I forgot. Okay. And you see, I didn't put a whole lot. So beautiful. Right? Oh, something else I need to do. Now, it's black eyed peas, right? That have been cooked with, I had bay leaves, I had fresh garlic, and I also had, you know, the stem from broccoli, things like that. I could have put carrots or anything just to build the flavor, right? And then I cooked some chickpeas. I'm going to use chickpeas like croutons. I'm going to put them in the oven. I'm going to toast them and throw them in the salad, and they're going to add crunch. Remember, this is a laboratory. Yes. So I'm going to put that also in the oven. So everything is going to be ready at the same time. And what I do, because I use fresh garlic to cook the peas, I'm going to take them out and then smash them and add them to the dressing when I'm ready to make the salad dressing. Nothing goes to waste, right? Okay, I think this is part of the broccoli stem. Not what I want. All right, so I'm going to strain this into a cup because I'm going to save those pea juices for next time when I'm cooking some grain. Then we're going to use those. Recycle. We don't waste things. All right. Aquí. So that's why I don't buy chickpeas in the can anymore. No more. Why would you do that when you can get this beauty by just soaking them overnight and then cooking them on the stove? You don't. All right. So let's see. I want they have to be dry. I don't want them to have any kind of. Yes. Muy bien. They're cooked. And also chickpeas, if you soak them overnight, the next day, 15 minutes, they're done. Alright. So I like these little cake pans. Not that I make cakes. You know, I haven't made anything for my little boys downstairs. So that could be, you know, muffins or, you know, banana bread and stuff like that, which I don't make for me. Woo, the sister brought an upside down pineapple cake for the party. And everybody took things. I'm like, take the rice, take everything off. And they left like 2 or 3 pieces of that cake. That was a no bueno for me. I knew I was done. All right, same thing here. We're going to put a little bit of oil. This one definitely is going to be dusted with, let's do the paprika on this one. Because remember, we want a fusion of colors on our plate. Cumin, adobo, and herbe de Provence. I'm using it sparingly because it's not something I find easy. I think I saw it at Reba Smith. Reba Smith was packed yesterday. Oh, gotta remember not to go there on a Saturday night anymore. Woo. Oh yeah, I got enough salt from the. So now all it needs is the turmeric. It had enough salt from the adobo. All right, this is turmeric. Okay, turmeric. All right. Ooh, yeah. So, we're gonna let these toast. Good morning, Maria. ¿Cómo estás? All right. So I think everything is. Yeah, I'll let the peas soak for now, and don't take them out until I'm ready. And then I will also rinse them out because you know you don't want any of that brown color to transfer into the salad. Potatoes, okra, and chickpeas. All right, we are good. So now let's go. Yeah, we can cut the. I think I left the beets in the oven just a tad too long, but that's okay. That is okay. So I'm looking for my paring knife. Then we're gonna go get our shrimp ready, right? I always double bag these shrimp. You know what? I'm gonna put my my apron on just in case I get a little over the anything touching my clothes. I remember working at Disney, and they put me in the bakery where we were making. It was an Irish restaurant. Oh, what did I call it again? It's a very famous Irish restaurant. The Raglan Road it's called, and it's in downtown Disney. And you know, they would put me with and those sections were manned by these Hispanic girls who had been there, and then they were very, what shall I say? You know, they felt like they owned the section, and if you were, you know, like when you're a newbie anywhere, and then you have the bullies, right? And they were like, you do this, you do that, you know. And this is after I graduated from from culinary school. They were ordering me around. But just like this guy yelled at me, I understood that this was something I needed to do so I could graduate. So I'm like, go ahead, do whatever you can, because, you know, I'm not going to be here forever. But I got the recipe to make that brown Irish soda bread. And of course, now I can't really, you know, I'm not into bread like that. So some days, you know, I get upset that I can't eat bread, because I love bread. I absolutely love bread. When I go to Paris, whoo, this is torture. So I'm thinking of taking my daughter with me again next year. And it's like, no. But I would burn my hand, my arms. I had so many burn marks because the like the little pot that I used to put the chickpeas, they have them in solid, I don't know what kind of metal. And that's how they put the bread. I mean, you would do like hundreds of them. And you're taking them out, you know, they touch your arm, and yeah, burn marks everywhere. Whew. That was something else. And you know, sometimes they don't have it on the back. See, there's no poop line, and the poop is almost out already. With this one, and then this is what if you save the heads, then you put them, you freeze them. The next time you're making like fish soup, you can make a fumé, which is like the stock, and it would give your fish soup a nice taste. All right, nothing on the back of these. Ooh, thank you so much. That'll make my job easier. Gotta take the poop out. Don't want to eat poop. That would be a no bueno. My manicure is lasting really good, but this one finger, my thumb, I don't know what happened to this finger, but I had like a nail split, and since then it has not grown, you know, correctly. You know, I remember I used to go to the salon and say, can you just put something to cover that one? But it would break, and I have to cut them down. It's just not a good thing. Poop. No poop. So yesterday we had a nice little chat about co-living again. And, you know, it's not for everybody, but it's something to consider. I think for me, it would be, I'm not going to go actively looking for it. If someone comes along and it makes sense, maybe, right? Oh, this one is a big one. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yuck. Oh my God. That was nasty. And that's why some people just cut them or they get them from here. Oh. Don't forget, when you're eating fried shrimp, ask yourself, did they take the poop out? And if you don't see it, you don't know. Of course, anything fried becomes a non-issue, right? Fried poop. Yeah, when people are frying these and eating them, I'm like, not me. I think he calls these langoustine because of the size, the big one they call langoustine. I'm like, okay, whatever. $3 a pound. That wasn't bad for shrimp, right? That's a no bueno. Yeah, so if someone comes along who makes sense, I think I would. But otherwise, I'm not going to actively be pursuing that. I have so many other things to pursue. Right? I was thinking, sometimes I have a lot on my plate, and then I'm like, I feel like doing any of that right now. Like yesterday afternoon, after I came back from Reba Smith about 8 o'clock, I was like, I'm not doing any work. So I just stayed on my phone and watched my dramas and called it a day, a night. How I miss eating shrimp. Oh, why, are you allergic, Maria? Some people are allergic. I'm not allergic. Well, I'm allergic to aspirin. It gives me the worst indigestion. And I think I'm pretty, not allergic, but sensitive to carbs and gluten in my old age. As a Caribbean woman, it's like a death sentence. And bread. The other day I had to take half a water pill because my belly was so swollen from, what did I have? And then I have to take inventory and see, what did I have? Kind of like when I can't sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, when did I have that last cup of coffee? And it doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen to me. Not the caffeine. But the other day I realized it's directly proportional to how big the cup was, how much caffeine. And some days, I wake up and I'm like, oh, I need some coffee. So I indulge in a big cup. And then that's usually, no bueno. The one thing I don't like about cleaning shrimp is that when I finish, even though I double bag these and put them in the trash, if they don't come and pick them up quickly, it starts to smell and it's inside a room. But there are 4 apartments on my floor. I don't want my neighbors to be uncomfortable, right? Ooh, that's a big one. Look at that. Listen, this is a labor of love. You cannot allow yourself not to clean your shrimp. That's a no bueno. Whew. Yep. So, working on the website. So I'm thinking in a couple of weeks we should have our website up. And on the website, we're gonna have our beautiful logo, of course, that a certain person created for us, and information about SWRA. And this is when I'm gonna start my merch. You know, the things that are gonna be SWRA related that we're going to try to present. And I have a list, but I'm gonna open and ask for some ideas. Somebody said buttons. You know, I'm not a t-shirt person because I don't ever like to do everything everybody else is doing. So I'm thinking some other stuff, you know, unique stuff that we could do that represents SWRA. You know, I keep getting these on my feed. This is like, it's not a holiday. It's something that they do. You know, in Spain, they do a lot of ritual things, you know, like around Easter, those processions that just get really crazy. And then they have the guys with the hoodies, right? And somebody said, okay, if you're an American or Black American, you're going to be triggered. But it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean anything. It's part of their tradition. But you know, like in the Netherlands, they have the black face around Christmas. That's their, you know, their tradition. And there are some things people do that might make some of us uncomfortable. The black face, the hoodies. And here in Panama, one of our indigenous groups, they have a swastika looking kind of sign. That doesn't mean the same to everybody, right? But it's a swastika. And then they say, no, to you it means this, to us it doesn't mean that. So you got to take everything into context, right? And stop allowing stuff to trigger you. We have enough stuff to worry about. You want to put a sign like that in your yard? Go ahead. I'm not going to do anything about that. Now this Cassandra doll thing, I hope you all saw that. That's going viral and making the rounds. And, whew, Father. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because it's just not going to do me any good. Let's not talk about that. Some people are sick. And you know, we have sick human beings all over the world. The stuff people did. There is another history teacher who was on TikTok. I think, was she bald? I don't think she's bald. But she's like very thuggish looking. You know, she wear a lot of hip hop type thing. She has a hat, you know, just like a no nonsense kind of girl. And she does, you know, history lesson. And now there's another lady. She said she's also the history teacher. And this whole week, all she talked about were the concentration camps and fascism. Let me tell you, if you stay ignorant, that's your own fault. Because the information is out there. SWRA stickers, yes, I think that's a good idea, Greta. And I think you can put them on so many things. But again, you know what? We don't want to be telling all our stuff here for everybody to see, to read. And then they copy you and make it their own. So we're not doing that. Yeah, I was talking about this music I'm humming comes from this show It's a horse show. Now, even though I'm kind of a city girl, I really love anything related to El Campo, meaning, the farm and in the interior. Like here we have a show called Hecho in Panama. It comes like at 11 o'clock, and they show you different parts of Panama and how the people there, whatever their specialty is, what they do. And I absolutely love that kind of stuff because I love to travel, and I have traveled around Panama, but not right in like going into somebody's home. But these people, they're local. They get invited. They make certain things that are typical of the area, and I just love it all. So that particular show is in Spain. They call Seville, which is one of their cities. And then it's on an equestrian. It's about all these women and men, mostly women, who work with horses. And like in Mexico, they make the horses dance and do things. How they braid the horse's hair. I mean, it's interesting. And the way they carry themselves, and the horse is keeping pace. I absolutely love that. Just like I love flamenco dancing. And there's a restaurant here. I went one Friday by myself, and it was I just love the leg work and the energy, it takes for these people to do those kind of leg work. I was exposed to flamenco when we went to Spain in the 90s. That was my first exposure to flamenco dancing, and I have loved it ever since. Yes. I love watching the Mexicans do it. Sometimes they come to the Rose Bowl, in California, and then they come with the horses. All the stuff we used to do that was like really familiar and fun. Now it's like, whenever I think about it, I just sigh. It's just like, you just feel like nostalgic, right? Very nostalgic. Yes. But remember, Panama was a Spanish colony, so anything Spain related is here. The paella. And I found this restaurant who said that if you're having a party, they'll bring a paella. I don't know. I might just order one for the next party. Have everybody contribute like $5 and we can have paella that I do not make. No, I don't have a pan big enough to do that. Oh. So we could do paella, maybe a salad, and some breadsticks. That should do it. Garlic bread. Well, paella is Spanish, so I got to think of, mucho vino. I was looking around. I said, for the next party, I think I have enough wine. I have enough sangria. So we have water. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll do paella. But if I have someone who doesn't do seafood, that would be a problem. Because, I have to think of my guests. And some people may be allergic. Oh, Lord. There's a sister here who cannot come to like certain restaurants. She said, I'm deathly ill. I remember meeting her. We were eating. She didn't have any seafood, but because she was around it, she had to go get her EpiPen. Ooh, it's like, ooh, that's a no bueno. Dangerous. All right, almost done. You see how this is a labor of love. Now, I don't eat shrimp like that. I've been eating a lot more shrimp than I usually do. And, most people would rather buy it frozen because they don't want to go through what I'm just going through right now. But I'm not a fan of frozen anything, right? If I can get it fresh, I prefer that. If not, like I tell somebody, I'm not pregnant, I'm good. All right. Whew. Que bueno. Ooh, almost done. The head. Now I haven't cooked lobster here, so I need to do that one time. You know what I've liked in the past? The lobster rolls. Oh my gosh. There was a place, we had to go to Orlando to this particular place. It was a fish store. They sold fresh fish, but they also had a restaurant there, and they were voted, this little seafood place was having the best lobster roll. And you know, they don't put a lot of things. It's lots of butter. Mucha mantequilla. You know, you think of butter being a masculine word. Nope, it is a feminine word in Spanish. La mantequilla. Almost done. Ooh. Don't come here and hurt me now. I'm getting to the end. Ooh, wee. All right. So we're gonna marinate this for like 5 minutes. Cook it. And then we will be done. Now this I should have done before I got started. I apologize. Usually I do it, I don't know, maybe I was so focused on washing my hair and forgot about it. Oop, there is a poop line. I wonder why some do and some don't. That is just, oh my God, look at this thing. This is a big daddy. Ooh, yuck. Now, how did somebody discover that, huh? No, I'm sure if you ate the poop, you're not gonna die. No. We're just being, you know, uppity about the whole thing. But if you ate that, it's not gonna hurt you. People who eat those crabs fried, you're eating fried poop. With all the gunk that I take out of the crab, you just put it in a hot oil and you fry it. No bueno, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Maybe the male has 2 and the female only has 1 line. That might be something for me to look at. Ask ChatGPT and Claude, why do some shrimp have 2 poop lines? Greta, can you look it up, por favor? And some shrimp do not. That could be a reason. I just like to know stuff like that. That's trivia. And it's fun to know. Ooh. Okay, I'm smelling something like the oven is talking to me. Something is done. Ooh. Yay. Got nothing to do with size, because some small ones have the 2 poop lines. Last one. Oh my goodness. Ooh. That was tedious. Right? I see people put like a fork on the back and just pull everything out. I'm not that skilled. I even saw a contraption. Somebody had like something with a little hook that you can just put in the back of the shrimp and get the poop out. I think I saw. This one does. I'm still looking forward to this salad, but I'm gonna have to watch myself and not eat the whole thing in one day. All right, so I'm gonna have to get another. Oh, this is a little baby. Oh, we're gonna let that one go. Look at all the poop. Ah, I'm grossed out just touching it. Ooh, lordy, lordy. Ooh, disgusting. All right, so I'm going to find another bag. This is gonna go in the wash, in the laundry to wash. This is the double bag that I had. Ugh. Felt like I had to clean myself up. Disgusting. All right, let me get another bag. All right, so we are going to put double bag this, triple bag it, and take it to the trash can and hope that it doesn't stink up the place, right? Yuck, yuck, yuck. All right. And that goes into the washer. Yesterday I wasn't as lucky with the lime. I found these, they look like key lime, but they're still limones, remember. Limones here. All kind of lemon, whether it's sour orange, lemon, or lime, everything is called limon. Limones. Ooh. Got a triple, quadruple rinse. Oh my God, look how teeny these things are. Wow. Oh, and then they have seeds. Oh, that's a no bueno. Okay. I like the lemons without the seeds, so that means I'm gonna have to be careful. Ooh. Small. All right, our shrimp is clean. You gotta eat clean. Make sure I don't have any seeds in here. Okay. Muy bonito, see? All right, I'm gonna put them in here because I'm gonna be drying them up with a paper towel so that they're not wet. Hand washing. Best thing you can do in your chicken. You don't know that about crabs. Oh yeah, people fry them whole with all the shamano. Yeah. Not me. Alright. Vámonos. Whew. Oh, I get to use my new skillet today. Now see, look how much water is coming out of that shrimp. It's still not dry. And that's why when you're cooking them, they just put out all that water in the pan, and that's not what I want. So, one more. So I'm just doing salt and pepper because I want to do something dry to keep them dry. Okay? Because we're going to have enough limon in the dressing. So, all right, I think that's good. Seco, macarones, secos. Macarones. Oh my. Can you believe the amount of liquid that was in this shrimp? Oh my goodness. Wow. Ooh. I don't want to throw you away. We have an escapee. Poquitito. This little bit of sriracha. Okay. Salt. Pepper. All right, if I'm looking at pepper, I say salt, that's a no bueno, right? Okay, this is, when they get to that, when they're not grinding anymore, it's time for me to say adieu. But I got another one, but this one has salt in it, so I got to keep that in mind. Ooh. Oh, yes. Ooh. Okay. Now that's a grinder. Oh, I'm a happy camper. Ooh, wee. Yes. And it was only like almost $6. It wasn't that expensive. All right. It had a little salt, so we gotta be careful. See. And I always like to do a little herb de Provence, which is not a lot. I wonder if I have rosemary that is in powder form, because a little bit of red pepper flakes for me. Hold off for you. Not oregano, no. Maybe parsley. And a little bit of fine herbs. Okay? All right. Now, everywhere I go, I've been looking for cornstarch. Can somebody bring some cornstarch, please? I couldn't even find it yesterday. Oh, I'm out. Oh my gosh. I found it At Super 99, it's been months I'm looking for cornstarch. Oh my God. I will not whine. I will not complain. All right. Just see you for 5 minutes. Let me check on my stuff in the oven. My potatoes should be done. Whew. Getting a steam treatment. And of course, everything needs to kind of cool off. Ooh. Wow. Look at the potatoes. By Crocky, that's a beauty. So if you like potatoes, this is a way for you to enjoy some potatoes. Where is my other phone? Where is my phone? All right, let's see what else we have in here. These are our chickpeas. They need to kind of crisp up a little bit more. Oh yeah. And this is the okra. Of course, I don't want to touch it or move it too much because I don't want it to get slimy, remember? This one needs to turn around. Very good. Let me see if it's cooked. Yep. So, I'm going to leave it out. Let me put it in the fridge. I'm going to put this in the fridge so they can... Oh, I need some towels underneath them in there so they can cool off. Oh, it's got a little hint of heat. Oh, so yummy. Yeah, wow. Love it. All right, let's put the potatoes in here too. Ooh, where's my phone? Okay. All right, we'll put the potatoes inside. Ooh. You see how beautiful they are? Oh my gosh. Listen, you do not have to eat boring potatoes, okay? Wow. That is amazing. Whew. This is where I get myself in trouble. Because if it's good like that, I can snack on this. Wow. All right. Let's cook some shrimp. Now, when you do that, we always put a little bit of olive oil. Let's see if I have enough. Oof. How did my oil get so low? And then I'm going to top it with some butter. Whenever you're cooking like steak or anything in a skillet, you do oil and butter, right? And if you have some rosemary, just throw a little bit in the oil and it will season it. But Jamaicans add garlic and other things in their oil when they're cooking. So you could do that too. It's all about building flavor, that's all. That's all it is about. The thyme tends to pop, so I'm not going to do thyme. It will pop in the oil. But I do have some rosemary. It's not going to fall apart in the oil. Okay, we put a couple of, and then now what we can do while we're waiting is to strain this water from our black-eyed peas. I'll do that. And rinse out our peas so they get ready for the big pot. So again, we take away the stems that I had put in there to build flavor. The bay leaves, and then the garlic we're gonna put here and add to our dressing. Garlic, bay leaves, all right, so we're gonna rinse this and strain it so that it will be ready. You know, I already smelled the rosemary. All right. Did something get in there? I put it on my list to get one of those shredding thing that you use for the cabbage. Probably won't be able to find it, but we make do with what we have. All right, so let's do our shrimp. shrimp doesn't take a long time to cook, right? But make sure you let it caramelize good on one side before turning them. Even room. Okay. All right. I think some of them are ready to be turned. Ooh, look at that. That's what you want. That's the color you want. Yes, so don't be in a rush. I think I definitely left this be deep in the oven a tad too long. But hey, I like them roasted. Ooh, so good. Beautiful. So when usually I do that, I'll move those already nice golden to the side and then move the other ones in the middle. So they all get some love. Don't rush perfection. Ooh, I'm not gonna put the beets on my board. They're gonna discolor my board. And that would be a no bueno. Yes. Always thinking, you can't, as a chef, you can't afford to forget certain things. You know, it's like a nurse looking at a patient from multiple, points. You got to do mental, physical, environmental. I really love being a nurse. I initially wanted to be a doctor, but I think I found my calling in nursing. It's a bit more humane. Doctors have too much pressure. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, let's turn those. Ooh, yes. Woo. how it soaks up the oil, the rosemary oil. Alright, so what I need to do now is take off the ones that are cooked, because there is always the risk of overcooking shrimp. And when you do that, they become rubbery, and that's a no bueno. And I don't usually put shrimp on a paper towel, because whatever oil they've absorbed has so much flavor, and I don't want to get rid of it, because remember, you have that rosemary oil here. So, right? Nice. Woo-wee. I love it. Maybe a little bit here. What is going on here? We got a strainer patch. Alright, we're gonna need a few more, so I thought about leaving it and doing it later, and I'm like, yeah, that's later. I don't want to come back to the kitchen. That would be a no bueno. We get it all done. Alright. Alright, so we got our shrimp. We just need to cut a little bit of our cabbage and the peppers. Then we'll be done. So I'm just gonna I wish I could shave some, but I don't have shaving equipment, so we're just gonna go really tiny, not a lot. I just want to add a little bit of that purple, even though I have beets. So you want to say your salad is going to be multicolored and, whew, okay, yes. Oh, are you popping? No, so no bueno, not allowed. No popping allowed. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my, I just want to sit here and eat shrimp. When somebody said they're allergic, I feel so sorry, because shrimp, to me, is one of the nicest things to eat. Alright. So we're going to rinse the cabbage. And you know, when you are doing, let's just put some other stuff in there, because when you are doing a salad, these things are supposed to be raw, right? Ooh. Okay, you are splashing, and I don't like that. Alright, we'll turn that off. We don't have any need for another burner. Alright, so we have our cabbage. The apples I'm going to put later, because they tend to be, they want to oxidize, and I don't want that. So it's going to be a little bit of each, not a lot. A little bit of green pepper. And I remember I had to open a pack and then to pick one of each color. And I put them in separate bags, and he said, mismo precio. It's the same price for all of them, per pound. So those 3 peppers were $3.66. So that's a good price for peppers. The peppers tend to be expensive here. All right, so we're gonna do small dices, keeping in mind the size of our beets and other things. Take that out. I don't want any other white. All right, our shrimp is done. Look how pretty they are. And they're gonna be nice and cold, so it's perfect for the salad. Yes, wow. Woo-wee. Can I snack on one? Let me put one on the side, just for me. Good try. All right, so we have our peppers. We're gonna keep in mind sizes. That's about right. That's about right. Ooh, look at that. You got orange peppers. You got green peppers. And I have bero. Bero is watercress. And I got some hydroponic ones that are grown indoors. And they are nice. I did have a little bit of it last night. And I was like, I'm going to try that. And I had a sardine and some bero. And I had some leftover dressing. And I was able to enjoy. It was so good. Now see, when you're doing your salad, you want to get rid of this. You don't want that in your salad, right? That's a no bueno. All right, this is mine. I can taste the butter and rosemary. Listen, play with your food, okay? This one's a little too dark. It says I have to have it. Remember, you do that with rosemary when you're cooking steak or anything on the stove. Just throw some rosemary in there and baste, and it's going to just elevate the taste of your meat. That's why you don't need to marinate beef. Nope, you just put some rosemary on that pan, or if you're gonna put it in the oven, just leave the rosemary in there. Yes, it just flavors everything. All right, here we go. And let's see, we got green. Oh, yellow. You need yellow. Yellow. That's what my kids used to say. Yellow. No, yellow. Yellow. Spaghetti. Paspaghetti. No. Spaghetti. Paspaghetti. Those were the good old days when kids were cute. And then they turn into teenagers. And you're like, what happened to my kid? Oof. Those were rough years. Listen, I don't care what anybody says. They say, wouldn't you go back to that? Nope. Nope. I barely survived. No. All right. I think we have everything. And the apples would be the last thing. So I'm going to rinse these. And then we're going to put it together. Oh my. So good. All right, here's our bowl. Ooh, that's too hot. This is our bowl. That's why I always do that before. All right, so we're gonna put our veggies in here. Now, I'm trying to keep them from getting from being really wet. Now you see the color already? You know it's gonna be beautiful, right? Now the shrimp doesn't go till the end. I'm gonna plate it two ways. You can plate it where you put it all together, and then you can plate it where you just lay it on top. All right, we got the black-eyed peas. This have been kind of sitting here just to make sure I drain the last bit of water. And that cooked in about 15 minutes, seriously, after being soaked overnight. And I think, yes, don't forget the chickpeas. Don't forget the donuts. All right, now they are nice and crispy. That's gonna be our crouton. All right, we're gonna put our beets, and we have some tomatoes. Of course, I'm gonna give them a rinse first, right? I think that's good. Yeah. You gotta measure everything. You don't want to, not measure on the scale, but just don't overdo it. To cut the cherry tomatoes, you need a knife with teeth, right? Like a serrated knife or like a stick knife, like this one, with teeth. All right. Whew. Then we're gonna bring the barrel, which is the watercress. So I'm gonna plate it mixed, and then I'm gonna plate it with the barrel at the bottom of a plate. So you're gonna plate two different ways, right? Okay. If it's you know, sometimes the beans have shells, and you kind of try to pick them out as much as you can. You kind of like chickpeas. Sometimes they come out, and then they have the shells. The ones from the can, you can actually pick them out. Oh, that's garlic peel. Okay. All right. Muy bien. So let's do a quick dressing that does not take long. Where is my, oh, I think I washed it. Yes. This is my jar to make my dressing. Don't be shy with the olive oil. That's why I was trying to make sure I did not use it all. Now, the best thing to use really for this is like some nice lime juice, but I am challenged in the lime division today because these little limes have seeds and I don't want them. So I'm just gonna squeeze some real lime in here, and then I'm gonna finish it off with some red wine vinegar. Oh, this is apple cider. Yeah, I can put apple cider vinegar. It's okay. Apple cider vinegar is good for you anyway, right? You can use it to make your dressings. But this, if you have some really good lemons, just squeeze like a whole lemon in here. I'm just challenged today, but you know, they never win over us. We're gonna make this work. I could have squeezed the lime somewhere else and then added it, of course. And I like a little bit of the pulp in there. Yeah, don't judge me. Whew. You know, when I went to that place, Dundee LV, I bought 10 for $1 or 8. And then yesterday, this guy said 4 for $1. I'm like, oh, you can keep it. No, I don't want it. All right. So I'm putting a little bit of apple cider vinegar, salt and pepper. Ooh, my new grinder. I'm excited about this. Let's see. Do I see it? Yes. Ooh. Love it, love it. Okay. And then usually that's why I put a little bit of dry herbs too, oregano and parsley. I don't think I need to put anything else in there. You know, you're gonna keep it kind of pure. So maybe a little bit of salt, keeping in mind that the pepper had a little bit of salt. Okay, but for me, I always like to put a bit of grainy mustard in my dressing. Always. And I was thinking maybe a little bit of honey or not. I love grainy mustard, and then I like Grey Poupon or Dijon. Oh, I forgot the olives. We can't forget the olives. We gotta put the olives. I went to buy the black olives. Ooh, they were too pricey. I was like, oh no, that's okay. I can pass. All right. Salt, pepper, Dijon, mustard, lime juice, oregano, and then you give it a good shake. And you see, as soon as you start shaking it, it turns into this beautiful color. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, so you see, you can make this and leave it in your fridge for your salad. Don't go buy the bottled stuff. No bueno. Make your own dressing. Need salt. Probably more pepper too. Alright, let's see. My hands are wet. No, that's why. I was like, it's not coming out. I had the top on it. Oh my God. Ooh, so all of that was waiting and ground, but the top was. All right, you guys, don't laugh. Do not laugh. I can see you laughing. Don't do that. Don't laugh at your sister. I had the top on the grinder, and I'm like, there's not enough pepper in there. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. And you know what I need to do? I need to just leave the pepper out. I'm in the top. With cornbread? Yes, I've been making cornbread at every party. And every time they're like, oh my God, it's so good. Well, of course I can't have that here because that's still carb. It was missing the pepper that I was. That was funny. That was hilarious. Okay. All right. I believe we are ready to plate this salad. So we're gonna add some of the dressing into this. Yeah, we can put it into the salad, and then we're still gonna plate it 2 different ways. Okay. Now this, you need to mix your salad. Where you're doing chickpea salad, and this is where you would have added your mint, your fresh mint, or some crumbled feta. But you know, we're not doing cheese, so we're good. But I have some olives that I want to try to put in here. I love olives. Remember, this is a Mediterranean salad. So you can put olives, you can put capers. I love capers. So I'm gonna put some pitted olives. Olives are called aceituna. Aceite is oil. So aceituna sin huesos, meaning no bones. That means no pit. Hueso means bones, but they say sin hueso. All right, and then I like a little bit of capers. I love capers. And remember, Panama is very like Spain. So a lot of things that are very popular in Spain are popular here. And olives and capers are one of those things. I mean, you see aisles and aisles of them. And I'm like, ooh, more for me. Look at that. Okay. So we're going to put a little bit of that. This is chickpeas that have been, put in the oven. And we're going to make sure we use some of that. It's going to give us a little bit of a crunch. All right, it's almost like if you were making croutons. All right, ooh, look how pretty it is. All right, so how are we going to plate this? Let me tell you. We can do a flat plate, or we could do a bowl, not, layered like we've been doing, but just like a bowl. Let's see. I think this one would be good. It's more of a flat bowl. I could do that. But I'm going to bring the watercress. The watercress is called Vero. Vero. Now, in this one, I'm going to mix it together. And then in the other one that I'm making, we are going to put the Vero as a base, right? On this plate. It's big enough. We're gonna do a bed of the watercress and then put the salad on top and then the shrimp. And then the other one, we're just gonna mix it. You can, when you are mixing your dish, be as creative as you want to be. No one can tell you can't do it, right? Puedes hacer lo que quiera. All right. So, this is the hydroponic watercress. It is better than just buying the regular watercress because it's heartier. The taste was amazing. Now, I told you, I grew up eating watercress. We use it for salad. We put it in stews. And this is a superfood. Did you know that? So, and of course, I don't like the stem. So I usually try to take those out because it's just too much to be biting on. But this guy showed yesterday how you can grow it indoors. I'm like, Because what I'm going to be growing this summer, I'm going to be growing pineapple because that's the only thing I could grow when I was at home in Florida. I'm going to put it on the patio. And I want to do herbs. I want to try my hands at herbs. Because I think I have a spot on my balcony that would be perfect. But I need a box planter. Oh, now that's going to be a problem. That's going to be the problem. Where to find that? Oh, Lord. I don't know. I may not be up to it. I don't like to be going here and there looking for things. I do not like that. Look how pretty and fresh they look. Oh, hydroponic watercress. And he showed like he took like a little piece like this with the dirt and just replanted them, and they just took over. And I'm like, oh, doesn't look too hard. Okay, so this is good enough for this, right? So we're gonna take some of the salad, we're gonna mix it in. Might add a little bit more dressing, right? And oh, I know what I need. I can use my tongs. Yes, my tongs to mix this with the betel. Oh yes. Oh, that looks so pretty. Okay, and then let's go ahead and plate it. Ooh, yes. That looks pretty, right? So we're gonna take some of the chickpeas, kind of like our croutons, put it on top, and then put our shrimp on top. So this is the time where if I had some mint, I would just sprinkle some of that mint on there. Isn't that pretty? The drone is on the way. Yeah, this is like a nice light lunch. This is not something heavy, right? Okay, so now we're gonna use the betel to make a bed for our salad here. Yeah, I don't like the stems. But I really like this one. And you know, I picked it out by mistake. I thought I was picking out arugula. And when I came home and it says betel, I'm like, oh. You know how I mentioned that sometimes you reach for one thing and you pick something else? Yep, that's what happened to me. But it was a good thing because I love the peppery. It's like arugula. It is peppery. But I guarantee you the one you buy in the store is not going to be like that. The leaves are a lot more fragile here and a lighter green. Whereas the one that you buy in the store in the US is a darker green. And it's not hydroponic, I'm sure. All right. Ooh. Nice. A nice bed. And now you're going to put your salad in. Because you know you can try other peas and beans, green beans, you already did chickpeas, um, white beans. What you need to be sure is that you cook them right, add flavor, and then do a dressing, because what you don't want is to people to choke on your salad, right? If the salad is too dry, people are not going to enjoy it. All right? So now we're going to put some of our, I think I'm going to change the way I put I'm just going to do the shrimp. I'm going to do like a circle. The circle of life. Oh my goodness. Play with your food. Play with your food. All right, Greta, you better send the drone now. Now you notice I didn't do, all around, because it would be like the shrimp would overpower the dish. Everything needs to be in scale, right? And then on all those salads, you could either have the dressing on the side in a little small ramekin, or you could just drizzle it on top. So when you serve it with the dressing on the side. Aquí estamos. You eat with your eyes. I can't say it enough. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I tell you, some days I amaze myself. Look at this. So you go in a restaurant and you ask for this. I know the other day I went to a restaurant and I had a piece of corvina. What did he sell it with? No, I didn't have any rice. So maybe it was some greens. I don't remember what it was. Maybe not greens, because they don't not big on greens now. It was like $26. I said, and it was lunch. It wasn't dinner. I said, oh, that's expensive. He said, oh, because you wanted it grilled. So I paid for them to grill my fish. What? You see why I don't eat out? No, I don't eat out. Okay, aquí estamos, señoras. Gracias por su compañía. So if you think of any salad, this one is my creation, of course. So if you think of any salad, you could use arugula at a base. And if you like spinach, you can do that too. So, be creative. You're not limited to anything. There's no limit on what you can do. Right? Beautiful. You send the information on the shrimp poopable. Thank you so much. I'm interested to see what it is. All right, ladies and gents, thank you. Have a good day. I am going to enjoy myself. And there's still more salad and more shrimp. Oh, and I didn't put some, we need to put some chickpeas, because those are our croutons, right? And you could do something like that with tofu. I don't like tofu, so you're not going to see me use tofu a lot. But yeah, definitely, it would be a nice contrast. What I do with tofu, I do it the same way I cook the shrimp. I dust them, I season them, and you have to dry it a lot because it's very watery. And then I just put it in the pan and toss with like turmeric. And then I put it, sometimes I put it in my curries with the beans. It's edible, but I don't like tofu. I don't. All right. Au revoir. Have a good day. Bye. Oops.